Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my game dev diary. Last time I was talking about having a bug where, as we seen in the last video, it was just an empty room with the switch was generated, and that shouldn't be able to happen. And I also was getting it where the whole game would freeze and trip over itself, and I finally figured out what that was, and it is simply a matter of a loop. I had to find the random number being between 1 and 5, and the conditions that the room lists were being set for was between 0 and 4 instead of 1 to 5, and that meant that sometimes the game would then overwrite the room list, and that's why we got the blank room where it only had the switch. And then sometimes if the dungeon list was just filled with one item, then it would be possible for it to fall over on itself and not work. So got that fixed, and now I think what we have so far is relatively bug free. We can run through the dungeon and hit the stairs, find the switch, and it won't really bug out like it was before, so that's good. What I want to do now is create the zombie enemy, where it will only try and attack you when it comes within range. And I also want to create a power up, so once you break open the crates, that there's a chance of a heart spawning, and also make it so that when your heart level falls below 0 or the heart's empty, you die. So there's not too much left to do, because I think once I get all that done, then I'll put a demo up for you guys to try it and let me know how you think the game sort of feels, and then we'll start into making an inventory level up system, being able to choose different weapons, getting some sort of armor system, some sort of magic system, like special items and stuff like that. So there's a lot that I still want to add into the game, but for the moment I would like to try and get people to comment on how it sort of feels and what they think of it so far. So I'm gonna move back and create the zombie. So what was wrong, as I said, with the bug was here. This was between 1 and 5, but these conditions were between 0 and 4 instead of 1 and 5. So that meant that sometimes this loop was never actually satisfied properly. So that's when the game froze, and then sometimes it kind of overrode itself, and that's why we got the room with just the switch. So you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Before, in the last video, it was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this was between 1 and 5, it messed itself up. So it was totally just me being a little bit silly and not concentrating. But thankfully it's fixed now, and what I have seems to be working how I thought it would work. So on to creating the zombie. I've just added a sprite from the Oryx Design Lab sprite pack and coloured it green for the zombie. There's two kind of ways that I think I could do this for the zombie. We want the zombie to become active once the player becomes close to it, and we can do it by creating a transparent actor that would be like a region, but you couldn't see it. And so when the player character touched the transparent actor, then it would tell the zombie to become active. Or we can just do it where it calculates directly the distance from the zombie to the player character, which is the way that I think I'm going to do it at the minute. So I'm going to give that a go, and it means that we have to remember a bit of maths that everyone would have done in school. Pythagoras' theorem. So we'll be doing that, coding that up, which isn't too hard at all, but it is a bit of trigonometry going on. So yeah, we'll get on with the zombie movement now. We want to do the check. We don't want to do the check every second, and we want the zombie to maybe only start moving after, like, we don't want to move straight away. We want a wee delay on it, so we'll set a couple of attributes and we'll call it delay boolean. We'll make it a boolean, and we'll call it delay time and make it a number. So that will allow us to then have a wee delay once the game starts up, in case the player actors right beside the zombie and the zombie won't start chasing them straight away. So attributes, setters, set blade, and this, and then we need true and false. So true, false. So if no, we don't need an if, we need a do after. We'll do after 0.5. And then we go to when updating. So this will be the bit where we do the actual maths. We need a for each actor of type. And then we pick the player character. Whoa. And then we need to create an attribute called distance to find out how far it is. So distance away from PC. That'll be a number. So set. We need to work out, so it's Pythagoras' theorem is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. So we need to work out basically the b squared plus c squared, and because there'll be sides of a triangle, so the a squared would be the hypotenuse of the triangle, and that would be a direct line from the player character to the zombie, and then the b squared will be like the y distance, and the c squared will be the x distance. So we need a plus, and we need x, whoops, and a b need a minus. So I haven't done this before, so it should in theory work, but it might need a wee bit of tweaking, but we'll run with it anyway. So we need y of self, and we need a y of the, we'll go for y center, actor of type. Whoa. Let me take it away, and that will give us our b basically. So we need to square that, so we need to multiply it by itself. Let's copy, paste. So that's our b squared, I think. If we copy and paste it and just change these to x centers, and that should be our c squared. So all that maths that we learnt in school wasn't totally useless. It's allowing us to use it in a game. which is pretty cool. Maybe it's not something you would have thought that you'd be using maths for. So that should be our b squared plus c squared. And then to get the distance, we would want to take the square root of that, but we don't really need to do that. We're going to just say that if the distance is greater than, we just say it is a squared. So we're going to look at pixels as the distance, because that's what the x and y coordinates are. So if this distance is, and we'll go for what, 80. So 80 times 80 would be, I think, 640. So if it's greater than 600, if it's less than 640, we want the zombie to be activated. So if distance away from PC is less than 640, then we want to set, create move towards act as true. So that means that if that happens, then move towards act is true. And we need to do then a couple of more ifs. So already moving. Oh no, we just need to do. Okay, hold on. Don't need that one. So we set to start off with move towards act as false. And then what we'll do then is say if is equal to false, and we'll set move towards act. So that means this won't execute anymore once it's been set to true. So we're not doing needless calculations. And put this here, and then we need also the time one. So if delay time is equal to true, no delay bool is equal to true. And flow otherwise. And it's this bit here. Nope. Copy that and then move this back in. So we're just doing setting up as the traditional type of thing you see me do before for the timed loops. And we don't want it to be, in case there's more than one zombie, we don't want it to be doing this check, because this might be, I'm not sure, but this bit of maths might be kind of intensive, and we don't want, if I have 3 or 4 zombies, we don't want 3 or 4 zombies executing this bit of code always at the same time. So we'll set a wee bit of randomness in this, and it also might lead to the zombies being a bit more random, so they don't always act the same way, which is kind of cool as well. So we'll set delay time to a random number. Does that work? Yeah, set delay time to random number between 1 and 3, and we'll divide it by 10. So that gives us between 0.1 and 0.3. And then we say do that after delay time. And then we need a bit of code to say if this is true. So if another always loop, and then if the that boolean, if the distance away from PC is less than 640, that means that the player character is close enough, so we want this to be true, so we want to activate the movement. So we'll set say if this is equal to true, so if the movement towards player character is true, then I think this is the bit of code that we need. Push Seth gently towards and I think it's this bit we need. Maybe it's just Y center vector type and X center vector type. We'll see. I haven't tried this, but I never used that block before. I'm gonna push him with 2 4s. Or I'm gonna be 5. Does that seem sensible? It does, I think. So we add the behavior zombie movement, and then we have to give him a number, don't we, so that it can be spawned. Or have we still got the test scene? Yeah, we do. So we're going to add a zombie in here, hopefully, and then delete all these. Go to actor. Put a zombie in. And we'll see what happens. Test scene. Hopefully this is not one of my epic fails. I have a feeling that it might be, but it seems sensible so far. When you see the zombie will probably either not move or run away from the player character, or we will get an error. Okay, we need the bit of code for the player character. Just drag these in, and then that should be us good to go. Why won't you work? There we go. So if we go back to our scene and then give it a wee test, then hopefully we see our zombies chasing after our player character once he's in distance. And then, as I said before, I just want to get like a power up so you can get some health back. And was there something else I wanted to do? Oh, he's not moving. They're not moving. Oh well. That can. Oh, did we touch him? We might have touched him. I'm not sure. Give that one more go. But it's definitely not working. So we'll have to try and figure out what's gone wrong, because I think we're not too far away. The premise of the code to me sounds that it should be close to being right. So no, they're definitely not moving. That's not that last one did move. Maybe I just pushed him. Probably just pushed him. So what we could do then is output the distance to see what's going on. So I think that I'll leave it here because it's running on to near 20 minutes. So we'll pick up the next video and try and get this zombie behavior working, and then hopefully move on to the health pickup. So thanks for listening, and as always, if you have any comments or suggestions for the game, please leave them in the comments section. Until next time, see ya.